Fighting for freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now at 865-243-8255. That's 243-TALK. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Welcome back to the Patrick Riggins Show.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. Had a couple little swigs of something during the break. Starting this last segment with some Alice in Chains there. For the last part of this show, I'll hit this last resolution I wanted to talk about, and it's one that is kind of hard for a lot of people. But it's get off the government dole. If you're getting a government check, find a way to make money where you don't have to take that check. You'll feel 100 times better knowing you aren't contributing to the problems of this country. And I know it's hard, and even if you've paid into the system, I know a lot of people feel this way. I have bad news for you. The government has lost your money. It's lost my money. Deep down, you know this to be a fact. You just keep pushing it down and making excuses for taking the check, or getting free or reduced medical care, or some other government reimbursement. Here's the hard truth, and that's what you'll get on this show. If you're taking money from the government, you know we don't have the money to give you. The government has squandered away all of it. Mine, too. It isn't like the government has a big stack of money they have squirreled away just for you and me. The check you're getting is coming directly from someone else's pocket, either your neighbor's or your children's. You know that. You know your money is gone, yet you still want yours. And you don't care if the government has to take it from another citizen and give it to you. You put money in, you want money out. Even if it's stolen money, you don't care. If that is your attitude, and yet you complain about others living off the government, then frankly, you're a hypocrite. You might not want to hear that, and if you don't, I suggest you listen to one of the other little so-called conservative radio shows that preach that you are the one that is right and everyone else is wrong. Nothing you are doing is wrong. But those other people taking money from government, they're just lazy. They're good for nothing. But there isn't anything wrong with you doing it, because you paid in. You deserve to get it all back, plus interest. And it doesn't matter whether it is wrecking the country or not. I want mine. Yes, it is hard to swallow that kind of truth. But if you're a regular listener to this show, you know it to be true. And you are mature enough to understand the situation we are in, the problems our country is going to have to tackle. Sure, your little check doesn't amount to a hill of beans in comparison to the magnitude of the debt and spending of this government. But you must remember you need to live by your principles no matter what everyone else is doing. I know this show has been a little preachy, but it's for a good purpose. It's to make you think. Most of you regular listeners are already thinkers. You think critically. You evaluate what is being told to you with a critical mind. Now, you new listeners, I hope you're working to develop this same skill and apply it throughout your entire life, not just in politics. Each week, I'm here every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. working to bring you around to the idea of individual freedom and liberty. Most people would agree that we have lost freedoms, and most people would agree that we need to get them back. But most people would not agree that everyone else should have freedom as well, and that's where the problem lies. What trips a lot of people up is other people's freedom. You want all this freedom for yourself, but you don't want other people or think they need to have that same freedom, either because you don't trust them, or you don't think they deserve it, or whatever the reason may be. The government feels the same way. It wants to keep all of its freedom to act against the citizens without abiding by the citizens' superior claim to that same freedom of action. The citizen's claim is superior because the citizen grants the government freedom to do certain things, not the other way around. The citizens of this country, the people, we're the ones in charge. The government is meant to serve us, not us serve the government. Look at this recent gun issue. If anyone should be restricting guns or ammunition or anything else, or restricting any actions, it should be us restricting government. We are the owners of this country. We have the freedoms to start with. Government wasn't born with natural human rights like we are. Government is only granted the ability to do the things we allow it to do. And these things are defined in the Constitution. If it isn't in the Constitution, then we shouldn't be doing it. Yes, it's really that simple. Let me give you a quick example, and this will help you with a little self-evaluation. Let's say I own a business and have a bunch of employees. If they want to become a union of employees, then that is their right to freely associate with one another. But if they're going to have the freedom to do that, then they must also acknowledge I have the freedom to fire them and hire others who aren't unionized if I wish. Again, therein lies the problem for most people. Other people's freedom. I've mentioned it on this show many times before. Everyone has the same freedom. If you're free to unionize, then the owners are free to fire you and hire others. Freedom works both ways, or it isn't freedom. Unions want all the freedoms to bargain and try to get the best deal for their workers, but then want to restrict the right of the owners to be able to fire workers if they want. They don't need a reason. It's their business. Do I need a reason to kick you out of my house if I want to? No, I don't. It works the same at your job. If freedom was really present in this country, that is. But people don't want to hear that. They want restrictions on employers. They want the government stepping in and sticking their nose into private contracts. But come and try to take my gun. Well, no, you can't do that. I want freedom only where I want it. Now, if you find yourself thinking this way, then I'm sorry, but you're no better than the self-serving representatives and bureaucrats in government. You don't want government in your life, but you certainly don't want, but you certainly want to use government to coerce or even force the behavior you want out of other people. This is the problem we have to overcome in this country, and really, enough of us need to do that in order to get our people elected. Yes, I said our people, because their people are not going to pull this country out of the tailspin we are currently in. And I hope you continue to join me throughout this whole year, and Tori, too.
I'll be joining you throughout the year.
Yeah, no, they're joining us.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
I just automatically assumed you'd be here, Tori. Was that an erroneous assumption?
No, I'll be here.
Is there something I should know?
No.
Oh, you're not going to jail, are you? You had a resolution against that, right?
Yes. Yes, I had a resolution. No, I'm not going to jail. No, I actually don't get in trouble, so I'm a good boy.
Tori's a very good boy. Yes, he is. He stays out of trouble. Anyway, we're coming up on the end of the show here. If you'd like more information about this show, you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Patrick Riggins Show. And if you need to know how to spell Riggins, it's Riggins, Patrick Riggins Show all together. And if you want to watch us on Twitter, we're at @Patrick Riggins. And we're also on YouTube at youtube.com/Patrick Riggins Show. And if you want to send an email and scream at me, you can send it to Patrick. Yes, Patrick Riggins Show at gmail.com. Or if you'd rather write your missives down there and scream at me, you can send a letter to WNOX here on Kingston Pike.
Just the important part is just scream at him.
Just scream, yeah. Join me next Sunday afternoon where once again we'll talk about freedom, liberty, and the restoration of the Constitution. This is Patrick Riggins, and we'll see you next Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Have a great week.
Join us again next week for a solid dose of truth on the Patrick Riggins Show. Every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. Be there.